So you've written a sales page, a Facebook ad, or an email, and now you're wondering, is it really going to do the job? Is it going to convert? Is it going to sell? And if you don't nail it, your promotion could flop. Your reputation could be ruined, and all the blood, sweat, and tears you poured into the project could be a total waste. So how do you fix that? How do you know that your copy is really going to be good? Well, in this video, I want to share with you 3 of the top things to look for when giving a copy critique. And that could be for a friend or a colleague, or it could be for your own copy. So here's some of the things to look for. And let's just dive in, okay, shall we? So the number one thing that I look for when I'm critiquing copy is, where is the center of focus? Is it with the customer, or is it with the seller, the product or the service? And all too often, as business owners, entrepreneurs, we tend to feel like we've got to tell the world about what we've got, and we forget that there's another person on the other end of that communication. What are their problems? What are the things that they desire? If we can speak to those, then the copy will tend to be a lot more effective. So that's one of the first things that you want to look for in critiquing copy is, where is the center of focus? Brian Tracy, the great teacher of sales psychology, said that a sales conversation is kind of like a spotlight. Either the spotlight is on the person trying to make the sale or the person who's making a decision to purchase. And you want the spotlight on the person who's making the purchase to the greatest extent possible, and that applies to your copy. So that's number one to look for when you're doing a copy critique, is where is that center of focus. The second thing you want to look for is clarity and conciseness. In other words, how quickly can we really get the point across? Is every word there for a reason? Is it carrying its weight? Or are we trying to be clever? Are we trying to be cute? Are we adding a lot of, sort of additional stuff? There's this expression among copywriters called clearing your throat. And what that means a lot of times is you're just getting kind of the wheels going as a writer or as a speaker, when really all that needs to happen is you need to just get straight to the point and give the message to your prospect. And so the point here, the second point to look for, is that clarity, and is the message really getting across in the most concise and clear way possible. The third thing to look for, that I like to look for in a piece of copy, is the specificity. In other words, it is oftentimes very easy to speak in generalities, and if you don't clearly know who your target audience is, that can be a real problem, right? So if you're selling shoes, you want to know, are you selling to women? Are you selling to men? Are you selling to children? Are you selling to outdoors lovers? Are you selling to business people? Right? And so understanding the psychology of the person making that buying decision is going to help you be very, very specific in terms of, again, if we use the example of shoes, of all things, what color, what's it made from, what's the cost, who's the designer or the maker, all these things, and how functional is it, right? How comfortable. All these things will be very much targeted, and you'll have ideas for what to talk about in your copy based on who the person is that you're selling to. But having those specifics in there is critical to getting the message across. And if it's not, let's just say the more specific it is, the more powerful it's going to be. And that includes painting word pictures with your words. Of course, depending on where the copy is going to be, you may have help with video, you may have help with images that are reinforcing the copy. But even so, creating that word picture, the sunset with the orange sky and, the sweet smell of freshly fallen rain, things like that give people a sensation, add to the specificity, in some cases of what you're doing. So that's the third thing I look for, is the specificity. So look for those three things. Number one, is the copy product or is it customer focused? Number two, is it clear and concise? And number three, does it give an adequate amount of specificity? In other words, are there the specifics in there? Numbers, data points, colors, size and shape, visual imagery. Okay. So I hope you found this helpful. And if you did, please go ahead and like the page so other people know that you found some value here. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.